Alright, this is Ms. Pye again. In this video I'm going to go over finding the formulas, some of the types of formulas that you can first graph, just do a rough graph of, and then you can use your calculator to move and adjust them. Excuse me. So the first one we're going to look at, I think I already have it up here, so I'm going to have to delete it now. I need to just delete that real quick. Excuse me. The first one we're going to look at is your linear equation, this line right here. And just a rough estimate, I wanted to figure out what the slope is. So if I start here and I go down 1 and over 3, I think that's roughly my slope. So in the equation, I would put negative 1 divided by 3. And it's negative because it is decreasing as I move from left to right. And then times my x value. And then I want to find my y-intercept form, or my y-intercept. And it looks like it's almost at a 1. So just a rough guesstimate of what the formula is, and that's what I'm getting. I push enter. All right, so and you can see I get pretty close, but it's not perfect down here, and it's not quite perfect up here. So I want to adjust it, and I can do that first. Let me get rid of my formula there. Now that I have this cross kind of towards the middle, I can go ahead and click and hold on to it, and then just kind of move my finger over the mouse pad and just kind of move it, excuse me, to wherever I want it. And then looks like my slope is not perfect, so I come to the end where I have these curvy arrows. I can click on those and then just adjust it just like okay, so that looks like it's approximately where I want it. So with linear functions, after you graph them, you get them up there, go ahead and clear the formula, and then move it to get this little cross to move the whole graph anywhere you want it. And then if you move it towards the end, you get these curvy arrows, and you can adjust the slope. Now let's look at another one that we want to graph. I want to show you how we did the circle again. So go to menu, equate a graph, and then we're going to do equations for my circle, and then the center form. And if I look at this, it looks like the center is approximately at 2.5 and negative 5, or down 5. So I'm going to put a 2.5 here for my x shift, or my horizontal shift, and a negative 5 here for my vertical shift down. And then it looks like the radius is probably about 1.5 maybe. Okay, so I just did that. And you can see that it is a circle. It's kind of in the right area, but not exactly. So again, I hid my equation. Then I come and I get my little cross thing. I click on it for just a little bit, and then I can move my finger across the mouse pad and move it. Okay, that's really close, but I want to go ahead and change the size. So I'm going to move my pointer to the edge where I get this little shape. Then I'm clicking and holding on it, and then I'm going to move it just a little bit. Oops, that was too much. All right, so right there. Okay, so that gives me my nice circle equation there. Okay, and then let's see the last one, and I didn't do this in class, but I'll do it now. So I want a parabola right here, so I can get this little part here. And so now I want to go back to a function. If I push tab, it's going to pull back up the circle function. I don't want that. So I'm going to go back up to menu, graph, and this time click on function. Okay, the reason why I like functions is because you can limit functions. You cannot limit equations. So I want to make sure I'm in a function here. All right, so now my parabola, let's see. So I have no idea what type of stretch I'm going to do. I do know I'm going to stretch it, but I'm not sure what it is yet. So I'm just going to put x squared. And I also know that I'm going to move it down. So normally x squared would start up here. So I want to move it down probably 2.5. So do the minus 2.5 there. All right, and I graph it, and look, I am definitely going to need to stretch this. So again, let me get rid of the function. So it looks like my vertex is exactly where I want it, but I want my graph to be wider. So I'm going to click and hold it so I get those curves, or the arrows where it's like, yeah, this, I don't even know what to call it. Okay, and then I'm just going to stretch it. And it kind of sort of gets there, but you can see it's not quite as curved right here. So I might go ahead and change that vertex over. So notice if I am clicking, have my pointer at the center where the vertex is, it changes to the cross, and I can go ahead and move the whole equation. So now my center is now here, and then let's change that slope a little bit, and voila. Okay, it looks like it's much better fit there. Let me move it just a smidge this way, maybe. So you can see that it will take a little bit of tinkering, but I was able to do this just by moving the line instead of changing the equation. And then if you double click on this, you can see that as I adjusted my uh, parabola here, my graph, it went ahead and changed the equation to fit the adjustment here. All right, so those are three, excuse me, those are three different graphs. I know that you can just click and drag around by changing where you put the pointer. We'll look at some others where you won't be able to drag it. You'll have to change the equation. All right, hopefully this helped quite a bit. I will talk to you later. Bye.